Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday night. I've been on PTO for a couple of weeks, so I have absolutely no clue what day it is. I literally have to really try and keep up. So anyways, I hope you are doing well. Getting ready for New Year's Eve. I was going to say the 4th of July. I can't ever keep up with what day it is anymore. This kind of all seem to run together. So anyway, this is my finale for the 2021 Beauty A to Z Project Pan. This is a PANtastic ladies collab. The group is on Facebook, so I hope that if you are interested in any project pans that you'll join us. There's a lot of fun projects, and it's just a really wonderful community of people that are doing some panning. So with that, let's get started. I did not wear a whole lot of makeup this year, so I didn't make a really huge impact in the items that I was working on, except for maybe a couple. And that's only because I was using them basically in every look that I did. So I was basically using them very consistently. So let's get started with the letter A, and for that I have this Medusa's liquid shadow in the color Ava. It's this nice gold color. I did stop using my tallies at some point. It just kind of fell by the wayside, but at last count I supposedly used this 6 times. It is a beautiful color, but it is starting to dry out a little bit, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this and say goodbye to this. I did like the formula on this. If I was in the market for a liquid shadow, I would definitely repurchase. It was very creamy, but now it's just starting to get to that like thicker, sticky, tacky point. So I'm gonna say goodbye to this kind of sadly. The next item I have is for the letter B. I have my Live Glam birthday suit palette, and I'm trying to even see on here like who was the one I used the most. And I am going to say I used this color here, which is Cheeky, and this one here, which is Striptease, the most. Basically I reached for this palette probably about 5 times, so not a lot of disturbance in the pan, but I do love the palettes from Live Glam. I sadly recently went ahead and canceled my subscription with them. They went ahead and changed up the way they do the subscription. But it was basically you'd get a palette every month. No, excuse me, a palette every other month for $20, which was perfect. Then they decided to switch it up and decided that you're going to get a palette and 2 lippies every other month for the same price, which is great, but I didn't want the lippies. So I went ahead and just canceled, but every palette that I have gotten from them I'm extremely happy with. So if that is something that you are interested in, definitely check them out. For the letter C, I have my Pacifica Crystal Dust Highlighter. This is one that I used with every look. As you can see, without blinding you, I hit a nice pan in this pink color here, which is Rose Quartz. The other one is called Amethyst. I've used this one a couple of times, but it is exactly this color on my cheeks. So I think going forward when I do use this blue, I think I may use it as possibly like an inner corner highlight or just an eyeshadow. I'm not really sure how I feel about blue highlighter. I'm still experimenting with that, but really happy about that lovely pan that's right there. I was so excited when I finally hit that. So for the letter D, I have the Bare Minerals Gloss in Dreamcatcher. I want to say I probably reached for this about 2 or 3 times. You can see my lines on there. I really love Bare Minerals. that is one of my favorite brands and is basically a staple in my makeup collection. See, the letter E, which was ColourPop, all things, excuse me, a little tired, all things Equinox palette, as I try to grab it from the pile here. So I'm trying to see which ones I really use the most. So my focus was basically, because it is hard to tell with my lighting, was on this first color here, which is Kindred, the one next to it, which is Infinity, and I want to say Nebula was the other one I focused on. So those were the three that I basically mainly used. And it looks like I reached for this palette about 14 times. So that's about right for the little bit of usage that you can see on there. My next item for the letter F, I have the Urban Decay eyeliner in Freak. This is one that I use every day. I use it on my waterline. This pencil will definitely be gone in 2022. It has lasted, I started using this at the end of 2020. So I'm almost down to where like it says Urban Decay now. So, and these pencils are huge. Like if you've seen these I mean, these are like a foot long practically. I am going to be sad to see this go, but I will tell you that I will definitely repurchase more of the 24/7 Glide On eyeliners from them. These stay in my waterline. Like even after I've washed off my makeup, it's still kind of in there and on my eyelashes. So I really kind of have to work a little bit to get them off. Not to the point of having to like scrape my eye or anything, but you know, just a little bit of extra, you know, swipes to get it off. But it is a very long lasting eyeliner. If you've never tried their eyeliners, I highly, highly recommend them. Let's see, what do we have? The next is for the letter G. This is going to be the Ulta highlighter stick in Gold Dust. I bought a trio of these back in, I want to say, 2018. And out of the three that I bought, this is the one that I had used the least. So I used this twice. I'm going to experiment with this one a little bit more. I felt like it didn't really show up on my skin as well as the other two that I have. One is like a iridescent color, and the other one's like a pinky color. I feel like the gold just kind of blended in with my skin color because I do have yellow undertones, so that could be the issue there. So I'm going to try and play with it a little bit more. If it doesn't work for me, I'll probably declutter it at some point, but not anytime soon. For the letter H, I have the Lime Crime Happy Cherry Gloss. I use this about 10 times. One of my favorite glosses are just these little ones that they smell like cherry. They've got a little bit of glitter in them. I'm a glitter girl at heart, as you can see by the basically dead polish on my nails that I need to get off. But I did love this. I would definitely purchase this in a full size. I like the way it feels on the lip, very comfortable, not sticky at all. And it's very pretty on the top of like an actual lipstick to just kind of give it a little bit of a glow, I guess you could say. All right, for the letter I have the Pacifica Island Life palette. I want to say I reached for this maybe 3 times. I basically focused on this brown and this brown here. These were the 2 colors that I used. A really pretty palette, and I do love the colors, and looking forward to hopefully bringing that into a project next year. I've got my list of projects I want to do. I have not chosen my products. I will probably be doing that over the next few days and getting ready to film my intros. So, all right, the next item is for the letter J. This is going to be the Ciate Jessica Rabbit palette. Before I actually open this to show you, I do want to show you the outside. I collect Disney makeup palettes, so once I get to the point that I'm just done using this one, it'll be hung on the wall. I literally have probably about 50 palettes of Disney eyeshadows. A lot of them I got from Hot Topic, and they're like, when they're on sale, and I figure even if I don't use them, it's wall art and it's cheaper. It's cheap wall art. So let me show you the inside of this. I only used the one color on here, which is called Carrot Cake, which is this color right here. I'm really trying not to blind you, so I apologize in advance. I used this palette 6 times in this project, and I am really hoping to get some more use out of this. For the letter K, I had the pink body spray. I ended up just rolling it out of the project. It is a glitter spray, and I just felt like I wanted to focus on other perfumes in other projects, so I basically just, any body care items in this project, I really just didn't focus on at all. So let's see. For the letter L, I have this Manna Kadar gloss in Lucky. Is this the right one? Yes. All right, so you can see my progress line right here. I want to say maybe I used this 2 times in the project. I didn't even mark down when I used it. So let's see. For the letter M, I have my Urban Decay Moon Dust palette, and I had started panning this at the end of 2019 before I even actually got into panning. This just happened to be one of my favorite palettes. I love shimmers, glitters, all of that fun stuff. So for this year, I did use this palette 8 times. Not even sure if you can see some of the dips in there. But I love all of the colors equally. Like they all get some love on them. And this just continues to be one of my favorite palettes. I was glad to see they brought some singles out a couple of years ago. I don't know if those are still available, but once my Moon Dust palette is no more, I will definitely be looking to possibly grab a couple of singles because I do like the formula on the Urban Decay shadows in that palette. Excuse me. For the letter N, I have also another Urban Decay palette. This is the Naked Cherry palette. And let me take the brush out so it doesn't go everywhere as it rolls off the table. There we go. I got this because I'm a pink girl. I love all of the pinks and reds and etc. in this palette. But I want to say I probably only reached for this a total of maybe 2 or 3 times. I would like to get more use out of this going forward. All right, the next item is for the letter O. This was I don't know if it was Kat Von D or KV. This is just a little sample. And the color is called Outlaw. So basically I was just taking a lip brush and just dipping in there, and I just kind of made like a small dip. This has gotten to the point that it's just dried out, and so we are going to go ahead and not call this done, but just declutter it. No point in keeping it around. I do have 2 others that came in the sample set. They're still sealed, so when I'm ready to work on those, I'll go ahead and crack them open. I want to say I probably used that, I want to say around like 10 to 12 times in this project. So I did get some good use out of it, and in the sense of I found it was a color that definitely worked for me. I normally don't wear red lipsticks, but I'm finding that red lipsticks that have sort of the red-blue combo look beautiful on me. It's the red-orange that does not work well with my complexion. So there is that. For the letter P, this is an item that I finished. It was the Urban Decay Mascara in Perversion. For the letter Q, I have a spray lotion. It's called Aqua Scum. It is from the Fortune Cookie Soap Company. Not one I focused on, so I kind of just rolled it out of the project. For the letter R, I have the Medusa's Shadow in Rhapsody. And let me show you what this looks like. If I can get it open. There we go. And this is such a pretty, like, it almost, when I look at this, it looks like it would play very, very, very well with the Urban Decay Naked Cherry, because it is like a cherry, like shimmer mauve type color. And I only use this one a couple of times. I want to say I used this at least 2, maybe 3 times in this project. And the next item is for the letter S. This is the Bare Minerals Style Makers Palette. I gravitated, I need to clean the pans, so pardon the funk. The shimmers I need to clean up. But this is what it looks like. And this was such a diverse palette. So there's like gold, a bronze, a cream, and a blue. Like they're like, you know, let's just surprise you. Let's just throw a blue in there. Very nice palette. Again, Bare Minerals, one of my favorites. I ended up using this palette, I want to say 5 or 6 times. So there is that one. For the letter T, I had the 1000 Wishes Spray from Bath & Body Works. So in the beginning of this project, I had 5 bottles of 1000 Wishes. So I had 3 minis, a full-size large, and a half size of like the shimmer spray and 1 lotion. I ended up finishing just 1 bottle of the small spray. So the others are just still floating around in my collection and will get used at some point. So for the letter U, I have this Ulta eyeshadow quad. This is a quad that came in one of those bags that you get with purchase. And I honestly, if I had really just focused on this as like my only palette all year, I definitely would have finished it because the pans are so tiny. But I love all of the colors in this. I especially like the green in here. It's that nice forest green with a little bit of like gold flecks in it, which matches my eyes beautifully. So if you have hazel eyes, that's definitely a color worth looking into. And I don't know if they sell it as a single, and I'm trying to figure out which color it is. It is verdigris. So that's the color of the green one. But a really cute just little palette, and especially if you're traveling, these are just great to throw in your bag because they don't take up a whole lot of room. For the letter V, I had a Vaseline spray moisturizer. Again, not one I focused on for body care. For the letter W, I have the Whimsical Garden palette from Live Glam. And I want to say I reached for this at least 3 or 4 times. You can see how pretty the colors on here are. And really just, I think this, was this my first live? No, this was my second Live Glam palette. The first one was the birthday suit one. So there's that one. Didn't get a whole lot of use out of that. I think when I did this project, I don't know why I thought like, yeah, I'm going to pan all these palettes. I went a little too heavy on the palettes for this project. But that's okay, right? Lesson learned. That's how we learn what works for us and what doesn't. This one, next one for the letter X, is my epic fail. I did not touch this at all in this project. Like, at all. I think I opened it to look at it, but I never used it. This is the Morphe 35X palette. This is my beast of a palette. Get the plastic out. But I do love this palette. And that's the funny part, is there's such diversity of colors in this that it is perfect for me. But did I, oh, it's not the 35X palette, it's a 35V palette. We're just going to pretend there was an X in here somewhere. I don't know why I called it an X. Anyway, oops, panning error. But anyway, I really do love the colors in this. I think they're beautiful. I have plans for this in 2022, which you'll see in an upcoming video. Don't want to give away any spoilers. But anyway, this is my poor little neglected Morphe palette. which I am planning on just giving the love it deserves. So there is that. For the letter Y, I have this Medusa lipstick in YOLO. I want to say I reached for this 2 or 3 times. I would have reached for it more. But YOLO decided to YOLO, and when I tried to apply it for the first time, it literally snapped in half. It must have been like a weak spot in the lipstick. So what I really need to do is just kind of cut like a little piece off and like remelt it in here and then just stick it back in there. It's a beautiful color. It's that kind of bright, like a bright Barbie pink, which I didn't, almost thought, I thought I scraped it with my nail, which I really didn't think would look good on me. But after trying it a couple of times, I did fall in love with this lipstick. So I'm looking forward to using that some more in the coming year. So letter Z was Amazing Grace. So I had 3 bottles of perfume, and I think they were all the 4-ounce perfumes, 2 jars of lotion, and 1 sample lotion. And I ended up getting halfway through one of the perfumes before it stopped spraying. So I have to try to figure out if I use how to actually get it open and just use like maybe one of my Bath & Body Works spritz bottles that it's going to be empty soon, and just putting it in there to use, because I really do love the scent. But I think I just got so frustrated with the stupid bottle. And yeah, I could have moved on to one of the other bottles that actually worked, but that bottle just frustrated me. I was just like, I'm done. I have other perfumes I really want to work on right now, and you are not it. So that is my finale here for the Beauty A to Z project. I have often mentioned that this is a project that I am going to do every year. I am going to throw a little bit of a spoiler out there. I decided not to do this one for 2022 because I wanted to branch out of my comfort zone a little bit. I think for me, a part of the challenge of panning is finding the items that work with the different prompts or the theme or what have you. And this is a great, don't get me wrong, this is a great project. And it is especially wonderful for those of you that are just starting out panning and finding your way and finding what works for you. I've done this project 2 years in a row. I'm just going to take a little break from it because I have a couple of other projects that I saw this year, coming up for this next year, for 2022, that I really want to try and I really want to challenge myself on. So I'm super excited. And I think by changing it up a little bit as far as the theming, I think it's going to help me focus on panning a lot more than I have been. I think another part of the problem was I was doing too many projects. Quite honestly, I literally was doing about 10 to 15 projects. Kudos to those of you that can, because I couldn't keep up. Like my brain couldn't keep up. So I am going to keep it small for 2022. I've picked projects that I really sat back, looked at, reread prompts, thought about, and was like, yeah, I think this fits and suits my personality and things that I want to do as far as panning my items. So anyway, that is it for my finale for Beauty A to Z. If you did this project, please let me know. I would love to check out your finale and see how things went for you. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Have a good one. Bye.